seeing me on your screen teaching a yoga or a meditation class. But today I thought it'd be a great idea to share a little bit more about myself and who I am, as well as how I got into yoga as well. So I am Georgia, as you may know me. I'm 24 years old, although very soon I will be 25 in July. I'm from Leicester and I studied my yoga teacher training in Bali, which was absolutely gorgeous. And it was with Leah Sugarman, who is known as the nomadic yogi. I'll put a link in the end of this video as well so that you can see her teacher trainings, because it changed my life so much. I would 100% recommend her. So my background was in, I would say, dancing. At school I was never really much of a sporty kid. I was pretty rubbish at sports, but I loved dancing, and I think it was my dream to be a dancer, if I'm honest with you. But I became more academic and then went to university and studied economics instead. Which I absolutely loved, but I didn't like the way the politics worked and decided that that definitely wasn't for me. So I then moved to London and I worked in recruitment for almost 4 years. I absolutely loved it. Like, I loved the fast-paced nature of recruitment, and it was fantastic to learn so much in such a short amount of time, let alone being in London, which was like amazing for me. I loved living in London. And then I started to teach a fitness class called Voga. So it was all about 80s vibes, really good, feel-good vibes, and it was also inspired by yoga. So at my time rewinding back at uni, I actually got into yoga because I spent a lot of time cheerleading. Like, cheerleading was a massive part of my uni life. And because I loved cheerleading so much, like in the summer holidays, I would want to keep flexible. And so I would be on YouTube and I'd be like looking at like how to be flexible, and all these yoga videos came up. So that was how I was first introduced to yoga. It was all about wanting to be flexible, to do the splits and all of those things. So I kind of let that drift by, but when I started working so much in recruitment and I was teaching these Voga classes, which were also inspired by yoga, I started going to loads of classes, and I absolutely loved them because, yes, it gave my body the movement and the stretch that I needed. I was definitely suffering from desk bod, from working at a desk for so long. But also it gave my mind a break. And I think that's so important when it comes to yoga, because when it comes to actually giving yourself that time of day and just spending maybe half hour or an hour to yourself doing a yoga class or meditating, whatever it is, that's what really changed my life and what made me stop being go, 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 not having enough time for anything, and actually prioritizing what I needed in my life. And then I made the decision to actually make this my full-time thing because I was loving it so much. I just wanted to share yoga with anyone and anyone. So I went to Bali to study my yoga teacher training. I think I'd heard a lot about Bali from my Voga friends, from anyone in the yoga scene in London had said that Bali was truly magical. So I just picked it and I just went to Bali, full of hopes and dreams, and I had an incredible time. I loved the course. I met some amazing people, and on the subject of yoga teacher trainings, if that's something you're thinking of doing, I would 100% recommend it to anyone. Even if you don't want to be a yoga teacher, it teaches you so much about yoga, yourself, life, everything. So I definitely recommend. But soon my dream came crashing down on me in a way, or maybe it felt like that, and it wasn't necessarily like that, because we were in the midst of a global pandemic when I decided to go and learn to teach yoga. So we were in this little bubble where we were learning this amazing, incredible art of teaching yoga. But also there was a virus, COVID-19 was spreading, and it was starting to get really scary. I was the other side of the world, literally from my family, friends, everyone, and really started to get quite anxious about what was going on at home. So our course, actually the last week of it, got moved online. So we all went home, I got the next flight back to London, and it was just chaos. We managed to finish our course online. The Yoga Alliance were amazing for letting us do that, and that was so brilliant. But then I really struggled when it came to my mental health, and I think it was because there was so much change going on. I'd felt like I had my dreams swept from under my feet by going to Bali and then having to come back. And I made such a massive sacrifice to completely stop my career in recruitment, which was going very well. I felt like I was good at, and I actually did enjoy. So I sacrificed all of that for yoga, and I felt like the world was against me in a way. But then yoga saved me. So every time I would do yoga, it would remind me to be grateful for what I have and what's amazing in my life and anything and everything. So it really grounded me. It got my head back in gear. It stopped me from worrying about everything and just allowed me to be in the present moment and to actually enjoy my own company for once. I think a lot of my anxiety, my sadness and loneliness came from the fact that I've always been a people's person. I love surrounding myself with people, and I hardly ever spend time alone. I would never choose to spend time alone, ever. I've always had loads of housemates and family and just people surrounding me. So to suddenly be in isolation and to not be able to see my friends or to see my family, I've really struggled with that. And yoga really allowed me to sit with myself and to actually learn to enjoy my own company, which I think was really important. So that's why I feel like it's my duty to share this with you and to teach yoga online so that you can teach from anywhere in the world. You can practice with me wherever you live, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. And a phone or a laptop, that's all you need, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because you can practice from your own home. You can save that time in your day, because I know that that's a huge issue for so many people. I found it a massive issue being so busy with work to even cook myself dinner, let alone go to a yoga class. So I feel that, I really feel that. And I think if I'd have had a yoga teacher that I knew, I didn't know any yoga teachers, but if I had someone that I knew at that time who was teaching yoga classes online, it's something I would 100% have done. So that's what I want to be for you, to give you that movement, that stretch, the strength, the workout that you want from yoga, but also to give you that release and to replace the pressure, the stress that you put on yourself every single day, because we are all guilty of it. And just replace that with a moment of bliss and to be in the present moment and practice gratitude as well. I think that's really important. So that's why I set up Sancti Yoga, and that's why I teach online every single day, because I think it's an amazing habit to get into. And if I can teach online every day, then it gives you the opportunity to practice online every day and to join me. But I do know that time can be crazy, so the classes are all recorded as well, because I think it's important to be able to go back and not feel like you've missed a class or anything like that. And I've purposefully made it really affordable as well to do yoga every day if you want to. And one of the things that I absolutely loved in my yoga teacher training that I don't think comes into studios or anywhere enough when people do yoga is the history of yoga. So I find that so powerful. It's all the spiritual teachings and just wise teachings of some of the most amazing and wisest gurus in the world. And they teach you things that are just so simple but so powerful that you can learn about yourself. So I think it's really important to share more of that, which is why in every single class, each week we have a theme. So it could be personal growth, it can be power, it can be anything at all. And I bring these themes into Sancti Yoga so much because it allows you to do what you want with it and to realize that yoga isn't, as much as it's great to be able to touch your toes or put your foot behind your head, yoga's not about that. It's about you, and you can make yoga whatever you want it to be. If you want to just sit and create some calm and quiet space for yourself one day, that's yoga. If you want to work out, if you want to stretch, if you want to handstand or headstand, that's also yoga. So thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to get to know me and why I set up Sancti Yoga, and hopefully I'll see you on the mat soon.